Hey everyone, Bree here from the Sewing House, and I'm back for week 2 of our Valentine quilt along for 2026. Just a quick recap, we are doing the seasonal patchwork pattern from Fig Tree Quilts, and we are doing the, not one that's actually part of the pattern, we are doing the supplemental hearts version. If you haven't already gotten your kit from us, make sure you get on that, and as soon as you order your kit, you will get this as well as supplemental cutting instructions in your email. For week 2, we are going to be making these adorable heart blocks. We're making both the big blocks and the little blocks. We're ready to jump right in. Week 1, we got everything cut and hopefully organized so that you know where all of your pieces are. We're ready to get going for making these fun blocks. Okay, so I'm actually going to walk you through how to make the hearts. I'm going to do it really just on the large hearts. The small hearts are exactly the same. They're just a little bit smaller. So you're going to start with your A pieces. Because we're on the heart blocks, these are all capital letters on your pieces. Your capital letter A blocks. They should look something like this. You've got these little rectangles. These are out of your reds or your heart fabrics. Maybe you're doing blue. Go for it. Your heart fabrics, though, you're using your A pieces. And then we are also going to need your C's. And your, where are they? There they are, our B pieces, these little guys. So we need to make this look like this. So we're gonna take our C, the larger square, line it up, the bottom corner here, and you'll note it doesn't come, it's not the same width as that rectangle. So make sure you have it nestled right in this corner over here. And you're going to draw a line from this corner down to this corner. So it's going to just cut off this little bit over here. And then you're going to sew on that line so that when it opens up, it's going to look like this. So we've got that little corner there. And at the beginning of your pattern, there's a little note that I want to make sure you read. It mentions what to do about these corners and about cutting pieces off here. So if we're going to fold this back and there's white under it, we're actually just going to leave this. Okay. That's what your pattern says. I'm going to give you another option. If you wanted to just leave all of that there, behind there, you certainly can. It does get a little bulky though. So I am going to recommend personally that you go ahead and cut this off. Okay, so to do that, you're just going to take your ruler, line up the 1/4 inch mark, and just trim that corner right off. So that 1/4 inch mark is right on my line that I've drawn and stitched. And I've just trimmed all of that away. So when I fold and press this down, we're going to have this nice corner, and we don't have all that extra fabric back there. It's looking really good. You're going to do the same thing with your little bitty squares, your B squares, on the top 2 corners. So you put them on, make sure they're lined up with that corner, draw your line, and these lines are going to be going in opposite diagonal directions, so they are going to make the top of 1/2 of your heart. You're going to do the same thing exactly like this for half of your A rectangles. The other half of your A rectangles, this is really important. Make sure you pay attention to this. That bottom triangle needs to be going the other direction. Okay? If we do them all just like this, we're going to have a whole bunch of half hearts. If that's the look you're going for, fine. But if we want it to look like this, you need to make sure that half of them have that bottom triangle going this way. Half of them have your bottom triangle going the other way. So I would highly recommend you lay them out, split them in half, draw the lines on your squares, and make extra sure this half, they are going this way. The other half, they are going this way. Top corners, doesn't really matter if you're doing both corners on the tops, but make sure those bottom corners are going in opposite directions. So when you put them together, you're going to have a whole heart. Okay? So you're going to do that with all of your A blocks. Once those are together, we can start actually making all of the bits that go around the block. So this is the block right here. First thing we're going to do is we are going to take our two halves of a heart. They don't have to match. It's really cute, I think, if they're a little scrappy. If that is not your thing and you want them to match, that is also totally fine. Just make sure you account for that when you're splitting them in half and having half of them go one way, half go the other, so that you can match them up if it bothers you to have them too scrappy. Okay? Match these up. We just put them right sides together. And before you take this to your sewing machine, you're gonna peel this back and make extra sure that this seam between the background fabric and the heart fabric is right on top of the seam on the other piece, so that you don't have an offset there at the top of the heart. I would put a pin in that, and when I pin, I like to put my pin perpendicular to the direction that I'm sewing so that I can sew up really close to it before I take my pin out. Do take your pins out. I know it's really easy to run over them. I don't recommend doing it, but do use those pins to hold your seams in place so that when you take it to your machine and you stitch your 1/4 inch seam straight down, it does not move on you, and you have this lovely little heart right there. So you're going to make all of your heart blocks. Once you've got your hearts made up, we're going to grab our D rectangles. Make sure they are the capital letter D rectangles. These look really, really similar to the, okay, these ones are 2.5 one way, the others are 3 one way. Make sure you have the right ones. Okay, so we want the ones that are 3 inches, which are not actually your D's, I'm sorry. These are your E's. E rectangles, 3 inches. And you're gonna make pairs of these. Okay? And then once you have those stitched together in pairs, you should have a bunch of pairs of those. Those get stitched on to the bottom of your heart block. We're making this little bit right here. Next to it, this is where those D's come in. This capital letter D might also have a little C or a big J on it. They're all the same size. You're going to put together 4 of those in a lovely little strip. You're going to be making a lot of strips of 4 of these. And that strip just gets stitched right down the side, the left side of your big heart block. So you can see here, we've got all of our heart blocks, all of our big heart blocks just like that. You've got the big heart, you've got your 2 rectangles under it, and then your strip of rectangles down the side. And that's your big hearts. There's not a whole lot of these. So for this week, we're going to be making both sets of heart blocks. You're going to be making your big heart blocks and your little heart blocks. Again, the little hearts go together just the same way as the big heart blocks. You do just need to make extra sure that you have those bottom ones going in opposite directions so that you have actual hearts. These little guys at the top, they're very, very small. If they scooch a little bit as you're stitching, it's going to be okay. This is a really scrappy look, and I think it's kind of fun if they're a little bit wonky. So if they move a little, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Just make sure they do match or get really close to matching right here at that point in the center. And don't worry that this bottom corner is getting cut off. It gives it a little bit more of that rounded shape. That is how the pattern is made. That's part of that big square at the bottom not being the same width as the rectangle. It just means we have one less point to worry about, and we don't have to worry about losing our point. So, and it does give it a little bit softer look, and I think it's really cute. So we're going to make our big heart blocks. We're going to make all of your little hearts. Those blocks go together a little bit differently. For those, you're going to make your heart blocks, and this is all part of that supplemental page that got emailed to you. You should have your eye pieces. They're these little skinny rectangles. That gets stitched to the bottom of one of the little heart blocks. It gets stitched to the top of the one that's going to go with it in a block. And then those two get another set of 4 rectangles over the top of them. See right here or right here. We've got all of these little heart blocks. So you've got your heart with the strip underneath, heart with the strip on top, and then your row of 4 rectangles over the top of it. And that's how that goes. I did want to take a quick minute here and talk about if you wanted to make this quilt bigger, because it's not a huge quilt. It's a great wall hanging or just little lap throw. If you did want to make it bigger, you could just get 2 kits. You just make more blocks and put them together however you think is going to look good. They're all kind of thrown in there really scrappy. We did follow the layout that she's got in the pattern from Fig Tree, but you can put them in there however works for you. Just make more blocks until it's as big as you need it to be, and it's going to look really good. So make sure you're sharing your pictures of your progress. Please reach out to us if you need anything, if you have any questions, and we'll be back next week to make some star blocks.